I want to welcome everybody to Millcraft's Meetup. Today we're really excited to have a couple representatives from the United States Postal Service. We're going to be talking about the new growth incentives and promotions for 2024. And I want to introduce Roman Godlewski, the sales industry specialist for United States Post Office. He just waved. And then Daniel Stanley, who is a business alliance manager for United States Post Office. We're happy to have you guys. We're excited. We've heard so much about these growth incentives. We're excited to hear straight from the horse's mouth. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm Roman Godlewski. I'm a sales industry strategist for the United States Postal Service. Today, I want to cover a little bit about leveraging promotions and the growth incentives. Last Friday, the Postal Service announced our new market dominant price change, and that's pending postal regulatory approval. So let's take a look at what those look like. Here for first class mail, you can see the rate authority. It's only 2% this time around. And you can see the stamp increases before and after with the current pricing and the proposed pricing. For the stamp price, forever stamp from 66 cents, that went up to 68 cents. So that's a 3% increase. And it goes further down the line as well. And then when you hit the pre-sorted letters and pre-sorted cards, those are pretty much non-barcoded. That went up as well, 1.8% up to 0.5%. And then moving on to auto and pre-sort. Here you can see the breakdown on that with the current pricing and the proposed pricing. That is expected to go up on January 21st of next year. And then moving on to marketing mail. Here again, the rate authority was at 2%. And you can see the overall increase for letters is 1.3%, and then follows down through the enhanced carrier out letters, high density plus letters, saturation letters, and flats, for those of you who do flats. So speaking of direct mail, most people think it's old school, out of touch with the digital age, unlikely to connect with younger consumers. And yet this year, U.S. brands will invest more than $39 billion on this channel, inclusive of postage, materials, and printing. If stood up against a roster of other paid advertising vehicles, this out-of-touch medium would thus rank 5th among advertising and marketing channels used by U.S. brands, commanding a healthier share of total expenditures than those directed to connected TV, online display, advertising, email, and other tools considered essential to modern marketing. Even though I did show you how post prices will be increasing in January, digital costs are rising, or are they really catching up? Inflation is driving the cost of digital media, leading to shifting budgets towards direct mail. As you can see how Meta went up, TikTok, Google's programmatic display has increased 75% year over year, as well as Instagram, another Meta conglomerate. In this graph, you can see how the Postal Service annual household diary study survey field continuously since 1987, which aims to collect information about household use of the mail and how that use changes over time. In this graph, you can see from 2021, 49% of households read ads received by mail, a percentage remarkably stable since 1987, when the household diary study project first began. So let's think about that for a second. That is an incredible long track record of high performance, 35 years, and it's still going strong as ever. And an additional 16% of households scan the ads. The percentage was significantly lower than first reported in 1987, but it's relatively remained stable from 2019 through 2021. So when you add those two figures together, that's 66% of households are either reading or scanning their advertising mail. So putting this in perspective, in your neighborhood, on your street, which is part of a carrier route, 66% of those residents are either reading or scanning advertising content delivered to their physical mailbox. And how are people tracking response rates through direct mail? No surprise to anyone is that QR codes are a top method to track direct mail effectiveness at 39%, followed by call centers or toll-free numbers at 38%. Sales Matchback, a process that shows how each segment of your marketing database performed by comparing actual sales data back to the original mailing list. This is especially useful to help you understand how direct marketing drives your online sales, and that's at 36%. BRM, or business reply envelopes, is another good method, and that's at 35%. And by the way, Dan's going to go into this a little bit further. Next year, we're offering a 3 or 6% discount if the barcoded return envelope is included. And actually, we're offering it this year as well. Along with the rest of the tracking methods, all at 35%, just to show you that these are proven methods to track direct mail response rates. So actually, we have to look at what customers are saying. Obviously, they're not happy seeing our market dominating prices going up for the 7th time since 2021. I'm going to read you the second bullet point. The good news is, other than postage increase, everything else is stabilized. We've seen catalogs push to reduce the number of pages to shift to more automated, similar prices. So let's see what did stabilize and what makes up the components of a direct mail package and the cost of each of those components and how postage affects marketers' decision in using direct mail. Typically, there are 6 components that marketers budget in the direct mail campaigns. Postage definitely takes the lion's share at 47.5%, followed by product, materials, and logistics at 30.9%, which is pretty much paper, printing, and transportation to make those drop ships. Paper is still somewhat elevated due to COVID-related supply chain issues along with inflation, but increases are abating where demand for container board for shipping boxes have abated as well. Looking over to agency and campaign service at 9.1%, that's the creative, which is actually shared across multiple media platforms and not excluded just for direct mail. Some of the image formats would have to change from landscape to vertical to fit on mobile, but what you see on a postcard can easily be used on a web banner and so on. Next, moving on to database and management hygiene at 4.2%. Those are mailing lists and similar data sets, including name and addresses of customers and prospects. Cloud-based technology has sharply diminished the data storage cost for that type of hygiene. And then moving on to licensed third-party data at 6%. That includes NCOA, merge and purge, deduplication, suppression, personalization elements of potential prospects through a mailing list outside of their first-party data. And that actually has remained relatively constant due to stable regulatory environment for the direct mail channel and the abundance of data available in comparison to digital, who are facing challenges with data access and deletion requests from the GDPR and the California Consumer Privacy Act, or CCPA. And speaking of the Golden State, California's governor is likely, if not already, signed Senate Bill 362. That's called the Deletion Act, which is designed to streamline consumers' ability to request deletion of their personal information collected by data brokers, similar to the Do Not Call list. Dan and I will try to keep you posted on the developments as this goes on. And then moving in finally to predictive analytics campaign measurement. Again, this is shared across all or most media channels, providing if the customer is multi-channel. And it's mostly managed in-house, so it keeps the cost down. However, there are some marketing tactics using digital analytics with a first-class mail postcard that bring this up. And I'll show you that in a bit. And this graph illustrates marketers' concern on frequency of postage increase. Nearly 70% of marketers have either moderate or major concern on how postage affects how budget allocation comes into play. But let's look at the top line with that 37%. Postage rate increase affects how we allocate direct mail budgets, but do not necessarily impact our total allocation on spending on the channel. So to me, that means they have a set budget to use on direct mail channel, but due to postage increase, instead of sending 1.7 million pieces this year, they'll mail less and stay within the budget and decrease the size of their mailings, thus decreasing their target reach. It's also allocation. Marketers in this aspect can shift budgets based on established KPIs or key performance indicators to better performing media channels that provide a better ROI, which actually works in direct mail favors because according to ANA stands for Association of National Advertisers. It's a big and the largest trade association. Direct mail has the highest ROI of all media channel in 2022 at 43%, followed by email at 32% and social media at 29%. The last ANA study for 2021 from 2021, direct mail was, yes, number one again, followed by SMS or text that time around. Email coming in third, paid search fourth, and social media advertising at fifth, with digital display coming in at sixth place. It appears that digital channels do change up positions, and that's probably due to consumers experiencing digital fatigue, and or a brand may have discovered some of their digital campaigns, especially pay-per-click attributes, have been compromised by ad fraud tactic, or it could be just plain poor performance and a lack of conversions. So all these ones be below direct mail, it switches every year almost, and that's through the ANA response rate. So we're going to leverage the 2024 promotions along with the gross incentives to further boost the ROI of mail, along with taking the sting out of the January postage prices. Here's a modified 24 mailing promotions calendar where first class mail and the marketing mail growth incentives were added just to provide a visual down here. So you remember this slide when we talk about the components of what makes a direct mail package. All I did was just kind of scrunch it down and move it over to the left. So let's see what a tactile promotion can do from a 47% cost of a DM package down to a 42.5%. However, you notice production went up slightly due to cost of using one of the TSI treatments such as spot varnishing, folds, or aqueous coatings, or whatever the treatment could be. Next, for emerging tech, just using the 3% for the mobile shopping portion brings the pushes down. However, if they are measuring the QR code scans in any way, it does bring up the predictive analysis just a tad bit more over here. The mobile shopping is probably one of the most popular treatment out of the emerging advanced technology, and we're offering a 3% discount on that. And plus, it's a floating promotion too, so you can start that anytime in 2024 within a 6-month period. So you can actually leverage this either in January, February, whatever your client wishes to do. And informed delivery, one of my favorites, it also brings that package down to 43%. And again, this could go up to if they're measuring the click-through rates as well. And that's a 4.5%. Actually, it's a 4%. The 0.5 goes to the eDoc submitter. And then for retargeting, components such as licensed third-party data and predictive analysis and campaign measurements does come into play. Retargeting can be a little bit expensive. Matching IP address with physical locations to send a dynamically printed first-class mail postcard within a certain turnaround does come with costs. However, the results are worth it. And then moving on to the incentives, the first-class mail and the marketing mail incentives. This is just a graphic just to visualize the 2023 customer baseline, which is in blue, and a mock volume increase, which is in green. So we are giving a 30% credit based on incremental volume in 2024. So the key is whatever your baseline is, you have to exceed it in 2024. Plus the minimum to exceed is 1 million pieces. And we'll show you more examples about that too. But keep this in green in mind because in this graph, though something was taken in 2021 by intent, most direct mail volumes by industry vertical was towards acquisition. And this is where the first class mail and the market mail growth incentives can really come into play. Think of customers that you may have that are doing well, planning on expansion in 2024 and 2025. Are they opening another brick and mortar store? Maybe it's an automotive dealership whose main customer base are mostly with subprime credit. Saturation type mailings are a great choice, which is this incentive will provide a higher ROI along with 30% credit to use. Typically, a dealership's target range is within a 30 miles from a dealership's physical location, so that's a lot of carrier routes to cover. And then finally, political mail season's coming up in 2024, and we're expected to see an 800 million increase in increment spend just on direct mail alone. So going back to the marketing mail and first class mail growth incentive, it's not a promotion, it's a pricing incentive. It affects separately first class mail and marketing mail. The incentives run concurrently from January 1st, 2024 through December 31st. The first-class mail and marketing mail growth incentives are being offered to mail owners to incite them to grow volume in calendar year 2024. And we'll be issuing credits to mail owners who grow qualifying first-class mail and marketing mail volumes. I believe the first round would be July 2024. And these are what qualifies for first class: pre-sorted letters, cards, and flats. And qualifying volumes for marketing mail include saturation letters and flats, high density letters and flats, marketing mail letters and flats, carrier routed, and along with marketing mail parcels and saturation parcels. This reminds me of the simple samples or product samples that we have, that we currently still have. These are primarily for customers who deal with CPG or consumer packaged goods. This will be really good for them. Mailing out free product samples for recipients to convert is a great strategy. And you see it practically every time you visit a Costco store. And it could lead to further opportunities with if you do have shipping capabilities to using our USPS Ground Advantage product as well. So again, here's some FAQs. I won't read them all, but I'll just breeze through them. Again, this will be available for user review. There'll be a 30% postage credit based on the incremental volume from calendar year 2024 versus baseline of this year times the average actual price paid per mail piece for the qualifying mail during the incentive period. Registration will start sometimes in November, and that'll be through the Business Customer Gateway. We will provide you with a baseline volume for you or your customers, and then you either agree or disagree, and then we'll try to figure out what your baseline is. Some of you may recall the 2009 summer sales saturation summer sale we had back then. We have tightened up our buy and for requirements, so establishing baselines should be a whole lot easier this time around. And here's some FAQs, and again, I'm not going to read all of these, but we'll provide this for you. And one thing I want to point out down on this last one, every door direct mailings will qualify as long as it's entered into BMU, not retail. And mostly our industry reaction was very positive. And that's all I have. And moving on to Dan.
All right. Thank
Do
you, Roman.
you want to stop for a minute, Dan, and we just have two questions on that section.
Sure.
So one of them was, can you qualify for more than one discount at a time?
For a promotion, you can't double dip. So let's see. Well, actually, Dan would have it too, but so like the promotions here, like say for instance, if you're doing tactile TSI, if you're putting a spark varnish, you can't do the immersion tech at the same time. So you can't double dip. But if you're doing tactile or any of these promotions, you still qualify for the credit.
Great, thank you.
But then again, keep in mind when you participating in promotions, a 5% discount, that's also going to be attributed. It's going to be the average price paid. Let me see if I can find that slide back. I think it's this one. Right here it says times the average actual price paid. So if you're participating in a promotion in 2023 or even in 2024, that's going to be calculated in the actual price paid per mail piece, just to keep that in mind.
Okay, great. And then the only other question we had was, can you share the dates for the calendar year? Is it January 1st to December 31st?
Yes.
That's our calendar year.
Great.
Yes.
Awesome.
And
all right.
One other thing I was going to add, Terry, to Roman's portion for the growth incentives, a key note there, if you saw the second to the last bullet, it said MSPs are not eligible. Right here, an MSP, can I participate in these incentives? No, the answer is no. Only mail owners are eligible to participate. They are the ones that file, but Obviously, MSPs can work, and I'm doing that currently with a lot of MSPs to help coordinate with their clients so they can increase the volume that they have for 2024. So that's an important point I want to touch on with this audience.
Yes,
So,
they're actually doing the printing and supplying the paper, so it's a win-win.
correct. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Roman. I'm going to cover for everybody the 2024 USPS mailing promotions coming up. This year, I think I have control of this now. The mailing promotions have been running for a number of years now, and the Postal Service has always developed them so they're an incentive for mailers and clients to be able to engage mailing and make them more engaging and beneficial for their customers. Question comes up, let's get into why use USPS mailing promotions. Well, digital media and direct mail has been shown and proved time and time again, as Roman alluded to as well in his comments. 39% or more find that when they do a digital only campaign, they're not getting that additional percentage. Cross-industry share shows here in 2023, brands moved away from classic formats in favor of innovative approaches. You can see the classic with some supplemental material, and innovative really grew the most of the two, but beyond the standard classic formats. And here you see 81% of consumers' favorite product they can smell and touch and see over one they can only see. And then 65% of consumers recall memories after scents. And, as Millcraft has said for years, scent is an important element that you can really attach to mail pieces. And the good news is for the coming year, that takes a lot. Okay, this year for 2024 upcoming, all 6 of the promotions that were running in 2023 will be repeated again with a few new wrinkles and additions, and I'm going to go over those with you. First up is the tactile and sensory interactive. This is the elements of where you can add in the sight, sound, and smell. The tactile sensory interactive has a 5% discount this year. It's bumped up 1 percentage point with the specialty inks, sensory treatments, and interactive elements. As you saw on the calendar, the registration period runs January 9th through July 31st. Promotion period is February 15th, right after Valentine's Day, through July 31st. And before I go much further on this, I want to point out to everyone on the calendar, anytime during the promotional period, there is a registration period, but you can register for any promotion anytime during the promotional period. Obviously, the earlier you register, the better you can start taking advantage of it when it starts. So eligible mail for the tactile sensory includes USPS marketing letters, nonprofit, and first class, so all 3 classifications. Eligibility, if you have sensory treatments such as scent, texture, embossing, and various varnishes and finishes, and yes, soft touch varnish, aqueous coating does count. So that is being repeated again this year. Interactive elements, clean release cards, complex folds beyond just a simple gatefold or trifold would count, as well as 3D elements. And then specialty inks, metallic ink, and thermochromatics, which is temperature inks. Okay, personalized and color trans promo. This is really for statement mailers. It's for transactional mail for billing statements. It gives the ability to have the promotion for introducing color into a mail piece. There's a standard personalized color trans promo discount of 3% and 4% if you include a reply mechanism like business reply mail. Registration period's January 9th through the July 31st, and promotion period runs February 15th through July 31st. Full color, just to give you an example what this looks like. If you on a mailing piece, billing statement, have 2 or more colors, in the message area, have a personalized message, personalization on it, and no mail diversion where there's no prominent color messaging promoting going online or having paperless, that would disqualify it by using that. Okay, 4% discounts available if you have a mechanism in place, the additional percentage point to have intelligent mail barcode with it, or courtesy reply mail with an intelligent mail barcode tied to it that is trackable. So that's an important element if you want the additional percentage discount.
I have to interject, if you do include a courtesy reply or a business reply in it, not only you're generating more revenue for yourself because you're including, you're inserting and charging fees for that, but for the client, that's almost a qualified lead. I mean, somebody actually took the time out, fill it out, and put it in the mail. So that's a good lead for them to pursue. I just want to interject.
Yeah, and don't forget on that courtesy reply mail is also included in that. That's missed a lot. So one of the more popular promotions is the emerging advanced technology, which last year and this year again includes mobile shopping. This is basically using any of the technology available for people today. I'll give you some examples of it. So an overview, it's 3% discounts available for enhanced augmented reality, for basic integration with a voice assistant like a Siri or Alexis, and the mobile shopping, which quite frequently is done with a barcode or URL link. An additional 1% discounts available to make it 4% for an advanced integration voice assistant, messaging, video and print, near-field communication, and mixed and virtual reality. This registration period is new and unique this year because it's open for all of 2024. It's a floating 6-month calendar. So when you start the promotion, you can do it over any 6-month time period when you start it in 2024. So you pick the 6-month time period that you want to run this promotion for your business organization. And again, this eligible mail for this is first class USPS marketing mail and of course nonprofit USPS mail. Here's some examples of enhanced augmented reality. Of course, it can be done on any mobile device, a phone, iPad, where it gives you 3D. You basically can move it, change the piece. It gives it a lot of 3D characteristics. One of the ones I like to reference was an early version of a piece done by Hyundai for their Elantra, where they had a 3D vehicle where you could turn it, change the colors of the vehicle, turn the lights off and on. A lot of whiz bang, but really useful to be able to see the inside and outside of the vehicle with the ability to change the color of the vehicle to see what it looks like.
And customers can track that activity, though. They can get back in analytics if somebody is doing an augmented reality from your mail piece. So that's another added value to using enhanced augmented reality.
And the cost of this has come down significantly because a lot of mobile devices now have the readers based on them. So you have that capability and not having to develop it. For basic integration with voice assistant, this again is Alexa and Siri. I like to quote a project that Bed Bath & Beyond did a couple of years ago on this, where they mailed out a piece and they gave had the weekly promotion that they were running at the time. A recipient would get the postcard and say, Alexa, what's the specials this week at Bed Bath & Beyond? And would tell them all the specials on their voice assistant. So it's a unique way to link into the customer's technology in their own home. So reply mail, the IMBA, this is streamlining the way we can do intelligent mail with business reply. And there is the ability to do this for people that do business reply mail. Okay. IMB overview, there is a 3% discount if you have a static barcode that you're using, and you have a 6% discount for a serialized barcode. That's where you're tracking it. So it involves a little more detail, and people that are using business reply mail typically know what that is. But registration period for this is May 15th to December 31st. And the promotion period's July 1st through December 31st. And this is for QBRM qualified business mail only. Eligibility, you have to have a QBRM permit, QBRM artwork approved by a mailpiece design analyst, QBRM permit linked to your enterprise payment account, and contact Mailing Shipping Solutions to enroll your permit. I will add that this is one promotion, like with the tactile and sensory, that you do have to submit a mail piece that has to be approved. All the other ones you can do online simply and easily. Informed delivery. Invite your customers to mail through previewed interactive digital images. This is probably one of our most popular tools that the Postal Service offers for consumers and businesses to take advantage of. There is a 4% discount for just doing the campaign. There's an additional 0.5% e-doc postage submitter. So MSPs, by doing the e-doc submission, which I assume most of you would do, you get an additional 0.5%. Registration period's June 15th through December 31st, and the promotion runs August 1st through December 31st. First class mail, marketing mail, DDU entered carrier route saturation flats, and nonprofit are eligible. And for those of you that aren't, I know most of you are probably familiar, but the next slide will show you how our campaign's activated. All mail, everyone's mail actually goes through informed delivery. On the left side, you see this is what a typical mail piece that's been mailed out. The subscriber that has informed delivery sees that they're receiving this mail piece. As a business organization, you have the opportunity to develop an interactive campaign where you have a colored image, and you also have a control or active button that has a URL link or directs to a website or to a video or whatever you decide. But this is a chance for you to be able to tap into those over 60 million people nationwide that do have informed delivery, and it's growing more every day. So we have that ability to offer you that service as a retail consumer end service where they receive an image, can immediately act and react to a call to action before they ever get the mail piece. It's a great tool. And for mailers, you get post-campaign reports are available for informed delivery. There's two different formats. There's a summary report and a detailed report. This provides you all the details of the mail pieces that were mailed, emails, email open rate, click-throughs, and the click-through rates. So you get detailed information on what your campaign did and how many people viewed it and how many people reacted and clicked and acted on it. So this is a nice tool that's also included with the informed delivery service.
Before we move on, take a look at this email open rates. It's 66%. Obviously, this is the mock company that we made up, but our actual email for this summer, I think it's hovering, Dan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, between 64 and 68%. And a click-through rate on just the interactive. So 29 people out of 3,678 that open that email click through that. So that's 29 prospects, 29 people who are interested in whatever that direct mail piece is and whatever that call to action to go through that informed delivery. So 29 people could be buying things from this company. So just to keep that in mind.
And last but not least is retargeting. This was a new promotion just launched last year. This is basically trigger marketing. It's just sending out personalized postcards for recent website visitors that didn't convert. Basically, cart abandonment. We'll show you some examples of how that works. The overview incentive, this is meant to incentivize marketers to send out a postcard to follow up to a website visitor that they didn't convert or act. It's a 5% discount. Registration period is July 15th to November 30th, and the promotion period is September 1st through November 30th. This is for first class mail postcards only, is the only type of mail that's eligible for this. And just walk you through an example of what this looks like. Here you see when digital interaction, someone goes on a website on their phone, home computer, they're looking to buy, say, a couch or a new piece of furniture. They've looked, maybe they put it in their cart, they've abandoned it, they've not taken any action. Within 24 hours, a direct mail piece is sent. It's driving them either in store or to make a digital interaction with a special offer, promotion, discount, whatever it is, to drive action that the marketer deems they want to do. With this type of marketing, 65% of marketing respondents report increased web traffic, and 47 reported increased conversions. So that's a pretty high rate of activation and taking action. So it's a good promotion.
Retargeting is really interesting. It's kind of fun too, because we all played that game, haven't we? We were probably, say for instance, we're buying something. We're not loyal to this. We're not loyal to this brand specifically, but we see something, we put in our shopping cart, and then we walk away, and then we wait for that email from that company to say, "Hey, you left something in our shopping cart. Here's 5% off." And when they don't send that email, then that brand's dead to me. But with this, I think this is really interesting. They use first class mail postcards, which is quick to print, quick to production, and it's quick into enters in mail stream. So there's a lot of possibilities using retargeting. So I'm really looking forward to see who does it and how it worked for them.
We're already seeing major marketers like Amazon, Target, Walmart are doing this type of program. So, of course, tools are available for you. USPS promotion campaign resources are available on Postal Pro. Each of these screen like this comes up, and each one of these buttons are interactive where you can hit it, get more information, find out how to register programs. And to give you a quick walkthrough, this is just to give you an idea of how you'd enter a campaign on the mailing promotions portal. Simple submission process. You submit the mail piece, you get mail piece approvals, you can ask questions, but to walk you through step by step, this is what the campaign portal looks like. Submit mail piece approval in the mailing promotions portal. This would be for emerging and advanced or for the IMBD. The others, you can just go straight to the checklist. You complete the mail piece pre-approval form, upload the files if that's need to be, upload any digital copies. You get a mail piece pre-approval form back that your request number, that SR446085540, that's the number you need to say that it's been approved and you have approval to move ahead with that project. So once you receive confirmation submission with the service request number, you can hit finish and you're good to go. And here again is the calendar. As Roman said, we'll make sure you have copies of this. If you'll note again, the emerging technology is the floating 6 months. So you decide when you want the promotion to run. And then again, just as a quick wrap up before I turn it back over to Roman, Tactile Sensory Interactive, the discount was increased to 5% this year. You do have the ability to put scent on the outside of the envelope. Personalized color trans promo, add CBRM inclusion in the incentive, and you have the 2 tiers, the 3% or 4% available. Emerging and advanced technology includes mobile shopping and then has the floating 6-month time period, and that has tier pricing as well, 3 or 4%. Reply Mail IMBA, discount of 3 or 6%. Informed delivery, 4% as last year, and the additional 0.5% e-doc submission. And finally, retargeting, incentivizing the use of retargeting, trigger marketing with a 5% discount.
And I'm going to stop here just for a second because we did have a question on promotions.
Okay.
Franklin asked, I've heard that gloss stock will qualify in 2024, but not in 2025 for the TSI promotion.
I think that's meant to say 2023, but not 2024. I do not believe gloss stock is going to qualify. You concur, Roman?
Yeah, I actually, that's not the first time
You're looking for that?
Yeah, that's the first time somebody asked that. One moment, please. 2024. All right.
If you want to advance to the next slide, Terry Lee, that just shows something. While Roman's looking that up,
Roman has control.
Okay. I know. I was trying to get him to give me control, but he wouldn't.
Wow, blame it on me.
Well, let me ask another question
There
while
we
he's
go.
looking for that slide.
Sure.
Do you have an estimated percentage of how much direct mail might increase in 2024 due to the promotions incentives?
I think Roman's going to cover that in his next section.
Okay.
First, this is the requirements for 2024. As you notice, it's not in draft form, so it looks like it's set in stone. And they actually have it in big, bold letters. Let's see if I can find eligible.
Ineligible, yeah.
There. No gloss stock. No dogs allowed. So that's
In the chats, it says 2025 will allow matte finish.
I don't know about
This is
that. I don't think we have anything on 2025 yet.
yeah, my
okay.
crystal ball doesn't go that far.
Okay.
So
Well, just to wrap up, go back one slide. Just support opportunities for you. Mailing promotions portal, you can visit Postal Pro, of course, and then the mailing promotions portal. If you have specific questions about anything on the portal, you can contact mailing promotions at USPS.gov. And with that, the next one slide says,
hang on.
I'm under Roman's control, so
I'm so sorry.
There we go. So, what does it look like to put together a promotions campaign, and what are the costs? So I'm going to turn it back over to Roman to address that and talk about those very items.
Actually, I kind of did cover that.
I thought you did.
Yeah, and I don't mind going over it again. Let me just back up a few. Hope nobody gets seasick. So sorry. So like this is what I was showing, like the small graph.
Right.
I actually shrunk it down. And this is the full cost. So this is the 6 distinct budgetary components that make up a direct mail package. A direct mail package, it could be a full self-mailer, it could be actually a postcard, or it could be a total letter campaign. Life insurance companies, financials, credit card companies, Discover, Capital One, like to use a full letter format. So this is what the estimated cost for direct mail. Obviously, like I stated again, postage takes the lion's share, followed by production and materials and logistics. That's print, paper. I mean, it's labor. All this is labor. So there's cost of labor. There's cost of delivery. There's cost for your print shops to, staff the printing presses, make these packages up, put together the inserting. So there's cost to that. So yeah, these take up the lion's shares. And all these other ones, agency campaign, it's creative, it's also content, and these actually can be shared through different media channels. It can be shared through digital. It can pop up as a postcard. It can pop up in a digital banner, or even like in a mobile, or on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So this is how it's shared out. And then in the next slides, just through, the ROI of direct mail, it always remained high for the past 2 or 3 years. In 2019, ANA didn't do the response rate report because back then everything just went shut down through the pandemic. So they didn't conduct any surveys. But direct mail has always been the workhorse. And its other channels, they shift around. I mean, email, sure. I mean, email has always been good, but last year text was number 2, and email was what did I write? Was third. So these change around, but direct mail has always been a constant workhorse. And with the promotions, you leverage the promotions in these promotions, either from 5% down to 3%, to bring that package cost down, like I showed before. So if postage is eating up 47.5% of the total package, introduce your client a tactile sensory interactive. That brings it down to 42%. Production and materials did go up because it does cost a little bit to put a smart varnish or use aqueous coating. So that does provide a little bit of a ding, but it's a direct mail package. Providing a tactile component to a direct mail package does increase the response rates. And then another one you can add to it, emerging advanced technology. Here, I only used the 3% for the mobile shopping. Mobile shopping is probably the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit of them all. As long as your client does have some type of mobile website and it's mobile viewable, and through the QR code there is a direct path to purchase. I mean, we've been having that for the past 5 years, so that's nothing new. So that does bring the cost. Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to interject here. I actually have a client that just did this last month for, believe it or not, a magazine subscription with a QR code and scanning the QR code. It was just a mailing postcard. Scan the QR code, and the recipient was able to get immediate trial subscription to a health magazine. So as Roman said, it is easy, very easy to do the emerging and advanced tech promotion with the QR code linked to, it has to be transactional. It has to be some kind of transaction. But if you do that, you can qualify for this promotion very easily.
Again, you see it's in draft form because we're tweaking some of the components in emerging and advanced tech, not so much on mobile shopping, but even like from augmented reality. A lot of these new companies, these startups, they have staffed by Gen Z, millennials. They may have already built a augmented reality component within their corporation. Maybe it's to show their earnings call, or maybe it's show their software or something. They may even have augmented reality already pre-built. So to implement it into a direct mail campaign, meaning augmented reality on a postcard, all it is just a big old QR code and that your phone can read. But you never know. It doesn't hurt to ask. And then it just goes down the rest. Another good one, informed delivery. One of my most popular promotions of all. Somebody did ask a question on how the promotions affect our mail volumes. Let me see if I was trying to find this presentation, which looks similar to the one I'm doing now. I did this for a ad agency. It's not that much different, except they were more interested in how in-house and how the responsibilities are shared. I didn't show it to this group, but one thing I did want to show is the informed delivery stats. So you can see these are informed delivery campaigns from March through August. It shows both our fiscal years 2022 and 2023. So right now, obviously, we're on 2023 in August. September numbers haven't rolled in, but you can see how informed delivery just doubles. And the red was from last year, and blue is in this year. And the promotion, get this, the promotion doesn't start until August. So these folks aren't just trying to get the 4.5% discount, which they are, but informed delivery works. It works for their client. They're getting double, triple views from that direct mail piece. And plus that ride along box, clicking on that UR code, that UR link takes them directly to their website. They don't have to deal with Google Analytics because that always changes depending on algorithms. That top resource for my client may not be on number one today. Tomorrow it could be on the bottom 20th. So the QR code or QR codes too, but the informed delivery, that URL right along, it's a direct link to the brand's website. So it's also another positive. And one thing I did want to show you, we're doing sharing referrals, so you can actually share this on Twitter and Facebook as well, and Instagram's coming up soon. The average open rate is 63% for informed delivery. If you click on that, which is great. I think the industry standard right now for emails is 34% open rate. And one thing I did want to show you. So right now, this is from last week. We have almost 60. I'm sure this week we're probably hitting almost 60. Well, probably 59.5 or something. But the emails, 50 million choose to use it to view their informed delivery on either their Hotmail, their Gmail, or whatever they're using. And just this past week, that was back in January. Actually, I should have switched it to August. We had almost 30,000 campaigns that were active. I mean, that's a lot of campaigns just in 1 week. And that's all I have.
Thanks, everyone.